Mhm. I just wanted to mention that I happen to want all the telephone poles. Yes. hmm And I wanted to put the hydrant water system in the municipality's water supply. Yeah. And I wanted to put all the utility lines to the residents or business in one line. But I would leave the gas lines by themselves because that requires some special attention. Yes. Now, a while ago, during the static, mhm, when you decided to comb your brain so you couldn't remember your childhood, yes. For all of you that have a look-alike, do you remember growing up with them? Now, I know your Nazi family does not hear in forward, only hears in reverse. Yeah. And you do the exact opposite of what the law says. hmm I'm going to need to know all your top secret locations where you decided to melt the dirt so that you could have some place underground. And then I'm going to sue you for the removal of any dirt without a permit. Pooh. And for all of you that decided to build some little place under your residence, yes, without a permit, yeah, you're getting sued for building without a permit. Now, those oaths of office known as building inspectors, yeah, why don't we call them today? Because they have sworn, yes, that they would support the state and federal laws, yes, the state constitution and the United States Constitution. Yeah, I emailed some of them and now I want to know all of them. And then I want to know how much you bribed them to agree to, yes, allowing you to build anything without a permit. Now, I'm that American citizen that's going to want to know why you've been doing the opposite of what the law requires. And for all of you that said, well, we just have to do it this way, anytime you have built anything that requires permitting, yeah, and you thought, well, I'll just give them some money and then I'll bribe the individual that happens to be the building inspector, yeah, and I'll build whatever I want without a permit because I can do whatever I want. I'm going to need the building departments of each and every city today, those employees of the county, yes, and the persons that have any knowledge of your Nazi family right now building anything without a permit. See, I'm quite serious, Sheriff, that we do not remove any dirt without the building department's actual authority. And somehow you thought, well, I'm going to make a lookalike of these employees. Yes. And we're all going to be in the family. And as long as I pay them, I can do whatever I want. And then for every top secret location, oh, Manresa Castle. Well, look at Port Townsend in your top secret family. Well, every time I sue you, Sheriff, yes, for refusing to enforce the laws, you cannot issue court orders where there's forgery and fraud. Yeah. You cannot arrest American citizens because of your fabricating of fake evidence against them. Yes. You cannot use terrorism and bribery to deprive America of the enforcement of the laws. Now, I don't go underneath. Yes. And I know you say, well, there's nothing there, but I would think that there is because I've spent a lot of time in a homeless shelter and I notice things. Now, I'm wanting to sue you, City of Port Angeles, for allowing, well, you only get a permit to build what is approved in the building codes. It is not top secret, right, for any citizen of the United States to be able to build, yes, as long as they build to code. Now, Zoo, yeah. Why don't you get me the Hagans? Ooch, the Safeway. Ooch, the courthouses. The police department. And then the personal residence of every one of you that said, well, this is the way that we're going. It's not the way. Because the way that you've been going is very much in contradiction to the laws of the United States. Now, I'm going to want to speak to Marilyn today. And I want to know all your top secret locations where you've been doing all your top secret manufacturing of all your top secret look-alike employees. Could you tell me right now? Well, you're going to have to go to prison for this. We, as the citizens of the United States, have the right to only speak to those that are the actual employees of the government. And we never have to talk to anyone that is not an employee of the government because we have the full expectation. Now, we have a situation that we need to consider. Yes, we do. I thought that somebody had employed a large number of planes, yes, to make what was known as the canopy above Clallam County. Yeah, because when I got here in 2012, yes, March of 2012, when I was living at 1023 Kitchen Dick Road, yeah, somebody had used a pulverized material, yes, kind of like, well, I've seen it on the news before. It's not, it's, when you want to conceal something from to a different nation, yes, you could pulverize some aluminum. Well, what happened was, yes, I was vacuuming Kingsway Foursquare Church as a volunteer for 8 hours a week, so I could sleep in a fifth wheel. Yeah. And I noticed that anytime you put aluminum on wall-to-wall carpeting, yes, and you release electricity in the ground because of this thought of the static, oh, it causes the wall-to-wall to become a large battery. Now, see, aluminum really is a resistor to electricity. Oh, let's say I put a layer of aluminum on top of your actual carpet. Yes. And then I released electricity underneath it. Right. You'd be walking around your house as if you were walking on a battery. Now, when you think about this idea of amping the population, yes. I don't think the local government considered the effect of pulverized aluminum on the carpets of those that are citizens. As they lit them up, they didn't realize, yes, that their carpet was containing the electricity because of the microscopic particles of aluminum. You kind of turned every house into a large battery. Yes, well, you charged it from underneath, but the aluminum that was on the carpet kept it charging the carpet. Somewhat frustrating when you're vacuuming a sanctuary that size and you realize, well, they really brought the canopy down and you're amping the place every morning and every evening. You're putting the population to sleep and you're actually walking on a large battery that keeps you charged up, charged up.